So we are at Crossington Park today as part of Manav Utsav. We celebrate the South Asian Heritage Month every year. This is one of it. Of course, one of the first ones that we are visiting. We have thought about a little bit from last year. We thought that this year we are going to actually visit the community centers and look into what they are doing, kind of support that the university can bring in to them to provide that support, of course, as part of social good. We are today at Crossington Park in Belgrave. We have come to talk to one of those community organizations who are actually contributing to the community by working around mental health and also developing different initiatives on to support mental health within the community, whether that be gardening or that be playing sports or walking or travel. So there have been different initiatives, and I thought that we'll go and talk to them what's happening in their center. So today Manav Utsav is at Crossington Park, and as you can see that there is a Wellbeing Club that's running at the moment. So what we're doing today as part of Manav Utsav is, of course, empowering the community. As part of that, we are talking to individuals who are actually contributing a lot in the community, but also they are running different initiatives on mental health and well-being. So, of course, one of the initiatives of Manav Utsav is also to support mental health and well-being through creative arts and media. Um, so, so we're going to talk to them today and learn a bit more about their services. Uh, and of course, we are bringing it to you because, of course, in your community, you can also try and run these kind of clubs. You can also connect with the NHS, and of course, NHS do come out. They do give out important informations within the community as well. I'm going to talk to Taruna in a minute, but before that, let's enjoy the game. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Somebody who was leading the cricket sessions, and then we just go and play, and they just love being outside.
Yeah, I think
So
it's the thing, like when you're out in the nature as well.
yeah,
I mean, I myself is very much into gardening and stuff as
yeah,
well. So
yeah.
it's like, yeah,
The thing is, it's just making it part and parcel of what you're doing. So our well-being activities encourage you to look at what's around you and make the best use of the space. We've got a public park here,
yeah,
and it's on our doorstep. So we just think, yeah, let's just set up and we'll play. And we do get a lot of interest from people who want to join in. So we said, yeah, that's fine.
yeah. And it's quite a
So
big
yeah,
one, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
As you can see that they're all very busy playing the game of cricket at the moment, and it's really fun because what they were talking to us as well, and you will hear that in a minute, is that it gives them the opportunity to bond, to build relationships, and also to find a way out from loneliness. And that's one of the primary things that, of course, when you're working within the community, looking into mental health is one of the primary concerns in Leicester was the loneliness part of it.
De Montfort University. So
Yeah, I'm from De Montfort, and I teach media and comms, but linked to anthropology because my background is in anthropology in general.
what does that mean?
Anthropology means that how we interact as individuals, how we build relations, how do we interact with different social things. So it's more about I won't say civilization, but civilization does form a part of it. So it kind of links to sociology, but anthropology is very much focused around human beings and how we as human beings connect with each other, talk. And then now I've moved a little bit to digital anthropology, which means how we are actually behaving on digital platforms and how we are working together on digital platforms or Internet of Things as well, like Alexa and all of those things. How do we actually interact with them as human beings?
So yeah, our organisation is all about delivering well-being projects, and we focus on physical health and mental health. So what that means is that we encourage people to just keep more active, but in more creative ways and ways which work for them. Because the gym and certain sports activities are not for everybody. So we run things like well-being walks, and we have like low-level activities like yoga. And through that, we also support mental health because we know mental health and physical health is intrinsically linked. So we have projects around supporting mental health specifically, but we try and connect physical and mental health together. So today on a Wednesday afternoon we have what's called Wellbeing, a Wellbeing Cafe event. So the Wellbeing Cafe on a Wednesday afternoon is all about giving a platform to health practitioners or people in the community or statutory organisations like the NHS to come and speak to us about certain health issues. We know that I think about 60% of our service users are diabetic, diabetes type 2, and we also know that over half of them have one or more health conditions. So what we try and say is our philosophy is that don't let it stop you. But we know and we're aware you've got a health condition, but try and manage it and try and keep up the physical activity. So on the Wednesday afternoon sessions, we try and encourage people to keep active. So today because the weather's really nice, we're going to go out and play some cricket, and we have been playing it for the last few weeks. Cricket is something that we really enjoy, and it's more like walking cricket. So we don't encourage people to run, but sometimes they do run, which is fine. But it's just breaking it up, getting people to sort of do handball coordination, getting people to do a little bit of jogging or walking to get the ball, so something like that. And it's fun, and we really enjoyed it. And we also do sort of support it with like workshops around health as well.
Fantastic. And how often do you do this?
So these Wednesday sessions are weekly. So every Wednesday we have a Wellbeing Cafe in the afternoon. We also did have yoga sessions, but we've sort of finished them for now. But all our activities on a weekly basis. So this is on a weekly basis on a Wednesday, and also the gardening session, which we have on a Friday. Again, it's on a weekly basis as well. So yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah. So we're looking forward to that cricket session, definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
So we can just move on to kind of get a little bit of insight into the service users and see, what they feel about it. So anybody would like to say and encourage other people, so what they can get in these sessions, how they can join.
Yeah, that's great. I know some of you have already given case studies, so maybe if you wanted to go back to what you said before. I know Kamlavin, you mentioned about during COVID how it helped you, Jasabin as well, and Shobnavin as well. Not picking on you, but if you want to just repeat some of the things you've said, by all means, please do that. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Shobna. I joined the Tarunas group here, I think, when we had the Queen's coronation party here. And since then, I've been attending all her classes, and it's been just fun. And I think I learned a lot through coming and joining this group as well. And I think I've also had a bit of health issues. So by coming to this place, I've made a lot of new friends, plus attending all the new platforms what Taruna has been bringing in, like through the NHS or other people through. We learn through them as well where we can get help, what sort of help we can get. And the best part was the gardening sessions which we have as well, the allotment. And I love being in the garden centres, so that was my best mental health thing for me. And since then I think we have done quite a lot of activities, and we look forward to coming on the Wednesdays and the Fridays and leave everything else and just come here and just enjoy ourselves. So even though Taruna is not, if she's on holiday or if she can't make it, we've got Jasuben who steps in her place, and she does the similar thing and make sure the classes are running smoothly as well. And we still do the same fun things what we do when Taruna is there. So I think I would encourage a lot of people who want to come out and who are lonely, or not even lonely, even, okay, loneliness is there, yes, definitely, but even to make new friends, learn new things, new skills, do come here and enjoy yourselves, and you'll make new friends, and you'll be amazed. I mean, we've got quite a few new people here as well, and they have enjoyed themselves as well. And I think the new person I'm going to introduce at the moment is Jessamine here, because she's just joined us. Today is her first day.
Today is the first day.
And I'm sure she'll be able to give you more insight into it.
So what brings you in here?
I loved it. I love, especially gardening. I love gardening. And here, this is the first day. And I think I'll carry on. Mind you, I've got no health issues, but I like to meet everybody. It's nice to meet everybody, have a talk. I'm on my own.
And that's
so
the
I'd like
wonderful
to come
thing.
and join. Yeah, I'd love to do it.
Wonderful. Yeah. I mean, the vibe that I'm getting is that it's very much about, knowing each other, coming together. It's not just about health issues, but it's more about actually creating a bond and bringing out that kind of positive vibe, I would say. And possibly one day a week means that you will be always looking forward to next week, and it rolls on and on. So it kind of adds.
I'm trying to get her confidence.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, this is really lovely. Anyone else would like to say anything?
I recently joined as well. It's been about 3 months, and I've made a lot of friends. And learning new skills. Knitting was my best bit, and as we've all said, Tarunas organise it really well. That in the winter months when we're inside, we get to learn different skills. And when in the summer we're out and about, we've done walking and we do gardening, and we've got an allotment where we can spend time, which I never used to do. So it's something that's brought me out doing and getting me interested in gardening as well as doing inside, to learning new skills, and also all the talks that we often have with the NHS and diabetes and everything, all the health aspects. It's good to know some of the things that we didn't know about, and all the services that are available to us.
And you lead on the wellbeing walks, don't you? So maybe you want to just talk about her. She's a brilliant walker.
I am a keen walker. That's due to my diabetes, just to control my diabetes. I've always walked, and I try and lead the walks with Tarunas on the longer walks, and try and encourage people to do the walking at a good pace.
Yeah, feel free.
Yeah, since I joined this, I had a lot of confidence talking with people, got a lot of knowledge of gardening. Now I started to learn quite a lot in the gardening as well, and I enjoy what I do. And I met a lot of friends as well. Working in the garden, my mind is really fresh, and I love to do gardening. I mean, I haven't got a garden, but I love it what I do. And I'm enjoying and do walking and doing craft work, teach everyone. I love it.
Fantastic.
And Jessamine is one of our lead volunteers, and because of her sort of the amount of volunteering she's been doing and her dedication, she was nominated for the King Charles III Community Champions Volunteer Award.
Yeah.
So it's a national award, so she was sort of recognised for that, because we find in some of our communities people don't come forward to volunteer. Volunteering is giving your time without expectation and not wanting a reward back. And we find, some people may not be confident in doing that. So Jessamine has been really good at spearheading that and encouraging more people to just come and volunteer their time. Because without volunteers, we wouldn't survive.
No.
I couldn't do what I do without the support of the volunteers. So yeah, we're really grateful for, people like Jessamine, for Umiven leading the walks, for a number of people who've been here who do things which they enjoy, and they lead that activity, which supports our organisation as a whole.
That's wonderful, yeah, and I can see that, as you were talking, it was coming through very clearly that it's actually not only that you're doing the activities, but it's actually creating that kind of bonding.
Right.
which is really good. So anybody interested in coming here, and would you like to tell me the address of this, or where can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so this is our community hub. So this is the Leicester Community Links Community Hub on 21 Allington Street, which is in Belgrave area. We're not far from Cossington Park. We're not far from the Belgrave Health Centre. And if people wanted to take part in our activities, do contact us. Our contact details are on our website. And you can contact us so you've got an idea of what's going on. And we also have a WhatsApp group. So once people want to join and they're fine with their details being shared, we'll put your name on a WhatsApp group, and then weekly I let people know what's going on, because we have regular activities but we might have extra things going on. So we let people know what's going on, which might be sort of extra than more than the wellbeing walk or the gardenings. We might have a speaker coming in, or we may have an additional trip that we might organise. So we keep in touch with people through that.
Fantastic. Thank you.
I just like to say that I used to be very busy doing voluntary work, and we used to be a yoga instructor, but then suddenly because of COVID everything stopped. But every Wednesday and Friday I look forward to, and I thank Taruben for it, because without her we wouldn't have Herb or the Allotment. And we met so many friends. We learn every day something from each other. We done boating trips, and we do quite a lot work, and we really enjoy it. So all thanks to Taruben, because of her support and help, we all live. So thanks, Taruben.
Oh, that's really good. Thank you.
We never push or anybody. We let people speak about how they feel in their own way, and we have small group sessions which really benefit them as well. And then we also have one-to-one sessions, so people can come to us afterwards and have that one-to-one session. But whatever works for each person, so it's not like one approach works for everybody. We understand and we respect the fact that there's different approaches. The key thing is that people are coming to seek help, in regards to their mental health or other issues that they may be having. So we do have families who have really sensitive things around maybe domestic violence or domestic abuse as well. And to come out of that bubble or the network and to seek help is a big deal for these individuals. So it might take them years to come out and speak with us. But once they do, we know that we're working with the right sort of organisations to make sure they're signposted and that support is given to them. About 15 to 20 people, but because it's the summer holidays at the moment, people are away or they're looking after their grandchildren, so we've got sort of smaller number of people coming. But there's people who still continue to come, and I think we've managed to build really good trust with the communities that we're working with, and that hasn't happened overnight. It's taken us quite a while. So our organisation has been delivering projects for 3 years, and I think it's in the last year we've really made inroads with communities, especially those who are more disadvantaged, and where they feel that they can come and talk to us. They feel that there's a safe space. They can share things connected to maybe like poor mental health or maybe addictions in their family. So we're getting more people like that coming through the door who want to share that with us, because we're able to signpost, and we're also able to work with other support organisations so that these individuals, they get the support that they need. But that trust, it does take time.
So, I mean, it is a hard work that you're doing, to be honest. And I'm just thinking, so down the line, what kind of challenges do you face normally? Like, what do you think that, well, no, we can't do this, so we have to kind of take support of someone else, or
Yeah.
so any kind of challenges that you
Yeah.
face?
I think when we deliver our projects, we plan our projects and we speak to our service users. We do consultation to ask them, what do you think will work? Because when we develop our projects, we're not rigid about them, because we know there's different challenges which will come along the way. So we have to adapt. So we keep it quite fluid so that we can adapt that project. So for example, we had one project where for people to be involved in the workshop, they needed to register. Now, some of the communities we work with don't understand what registration is. They're not used to registering. They may not be digitally aware, so they wouldn't know how to register online. So what we did was, initially we had asked people to register online, but then we quickly realized that that was a challenge, and that was something we had to change, because we weren't getting people to go online. So then we changed it to people contacting us by phone, or maybe just speaking to us face to face and letting us know that they're coming to the workshop. So we adapted it so we could meet the needs of that community. We have challenges like that, but I think it's great, because then we're learning as well as an organisation what works with this community may not work with another community. And those challenges are good, because it allows us to develop as an organisation. It allows us to be more culturally sensitive. It allows us to be learning all the time. Going across the city in Leicester, there's different pockets of different communities. So where we work in Belgrave, this approach may not necessarily work in Rushmead or Spinney Hill, or maybe New Parks or somewhere. So we look at what works here, but we also realise that it may not work geographically in a different area because of the demographics of the people. But we welcome challenges. That's allowed us to grow. That's allowed us to address concerns within the community. So we encourage people to come to us and seek advice. And if it's a challenge, we feel that it's a good opportunity to try and overcome it. And we always are quite solution led, so we have a problem-solving approach. So we think, okay, this is the issue. How can we devise a solution which will work for us, but will work for those people who we're working with as well? Because there will be a solution, but I think we all have to work together to get to that same sort of outcome, and that's what we try and do. So.
And so, do you work all over in Leicester, or do you work only in Belgrave?
So our projects are delivered throughout Leicester. We welcome anybody throughout Leicester and the county as well, but we tend to deliver more of them in the Belgrave area because we have a community hub space here. And also we have our allotments in the Belgrave area, but we do work with like Spinney Hill and Highfields as well, and we work with like Wesley Hall Community Centre or other community centres as well to do pop-up events, because we know that what we're doing, maybe sometimes it needs to be sort of reached more further, but because we only deliver our projects part-time as well, it's it's looking at how can we manage it in those 2 days and how are we more effective. So we tend to focus on the Belgrave area, but this could be a model to use elsewhere in other cities as well, because we're quite the model that we use is connected to place. So what we've identified is there's a place or a defined area called Belgrave. We look at what services there are. So we do mapping exercises, we look at what resources there are in terms of parks, in terms of community centres, in terms of established services, and then we work with them and we work around them. So we're place-led and we utilise all of that. We also understand the communities that are here in this area, and I think that's really important to do. And then what we do is then we develop our projects around there. But this can easily be lifted, and we could deliver the same sort of projects in a different area. Again, being place-led, but looking at, okay, what does this place offer? Does it have a leisure centre? Does it have a park that we can use? Does it have a community centre? Does it have a drop-in for support services and things like that? So, yeah. So.
Fantastic. Yeah. So it's more kind of a model, isn't it? That then can be either depending on the geographical location, then can change.
Yeah.
And so it's more about adapting within the organization. So there's a lot of work around that going on
Yeah.
within your organization.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, as you said, it's just important to not work in isolation. So we've always said as an organization, we collaborate, we work in partnership, because we don't know everything and we don't have all the resources. So it's so important for us to share what we have, but also learn from other organizations, and also share our knowledge so we can work more effectively, because I think we just reach a wider network. So in the last 3 years, we've been successful because of that approach as well. Had we just been working sort of by ourselves and not being able to, connect with other organizations, then it would be a bit more difficult. We, thought, okay, we're going to do this by ourselves and not connect and work with other people. We wouldn't have done as much as we've done in the last 3 years. And we have to get the buy-in from the community, and we work with community connectors, and those people already understand the community, because it's all very well, myself and the other directors coming in, and although we've been brought up in this community, we may not necessarily be still living here. So we rely on community connectors. Those people are living in the community now to come and work with us and help us to shape our projects. And that's how we've been successful in delivering them. And obviously funding, comes into it. So we've had quite a lot of success with short-term funding, because physical health and mental health is, sort of the priorities in terms of public health, if you look at the wider public health arena. So we've sort of met some of those outcomes, but also we look at, how can we work more with statutory organisations like the National Health Service, like the City Council, to complement our work, but also to complement their strategies as well. So we try and look at a more strategic level, because it makes sense. And in the long term, we as an organisation are able to plan better if we have more like long-term funding for a year or 3 years or something like that. So, we're able to sort of look at that as well.
That's wonderful. And I'm just kind of curious. Of course, I mean, it's a work that's not going to get smaller. It's going to get bigger and bigger over time, as people try to learn about the things that you're doing. Where do you think, universities, I mean, of course, local universities we've got here, where can they come in and contribute, and, how they can actually contribute towards developing your project, or how do you see?
Okay, so universities play a vital role in terms of the academic side, academia side. It's fantastic. They also, they're already doing that already with the universities. They're also establishing links within the community. So I think that's where organisations like ourselves come in, because we work at that grassroots level. We're working on the ground. So we'd like to see universities like, DMU work more closely with us. So we're like a link and sort of almost like an ear to the ground in terms of what's happening in a demographic area, so that researchers can work with us. They can come on the ground. They can hear it for themselves, some of the concerns, some of the issues that we're sort of, being faced with. And if that sort of contributes to their research, well, they're getting first-hand experience or first-hand knowledge of what's going on the ground, rather than that information being passed, third-hand. They're getting it, directly. And also they can direct questions to community groups like ourselves, because we've got that trust with our service users. So we can get volunteers and service users, into a workshop and contribute to a project on a specific piece of research as well. And those people who contribute, will come forward because they trust our organisation. So rather than the university trying to get that trust, we're already there. We formed that bond with that community. And if it helps shape, future research, then I think that's a really good thing.
Fantastic. It's wonderful talking to you today. And I think that, that's what we are trying to do as well, whether that be pitching funding together, or building a project, or, some way that we can collaborate in the future to build this partnership. But thank you very much for
You're
sharing, everything around your organization. And if anybody wants to get in touch, of course, they can also go into your social media channels.
Absolutely, yes. So
Yeah.
we have got our social media is Facebook, so you'll find us on Facebook under Leicester Community Links. We're also on Twitter as well, and we also have a website. So if you just type in Leicester Community Links, we're at the top of the search engine, so we're there. We have a phone number, we have an online contact form, so whatever suits yourselves. If you wanted to meet me personally or any of the other directors, more than happy to arrange a meeting. If you're like a community partner or organisation or an individual, more than happy to meet with yourselves and see how we can sort of support each other as well. Hello, my name's Taruna Mistry. I'm the director for Leicester Community Links. This is one of our wellbeing projects. It's the allotments at Holden Street in Leicester. These allotments, when we took over them nearly 2 years ago, they were really overgrown. And through the help of our volunteers and service users, we've been able to grow vegetables, growing fruit, put some raised beds in. As you can see, we've got some sweet corn here, and we have a polytunnel over there as well. And further down to the left, you can see a potting shed, which has been really useful for storage and things like that. There we go. And we also have a greenhouse here, and here we are with our summer house, so we can have a little bit of rest after doing our sessions. So our sessions are twice a week on a Wednesday and Thursday. Anybody is welcome to come. We particularly support people with low to medium level mental health issues. We recognise that being out in nature is really good for people, generally speaking, but especially if you've got poor mental health, being connected to nature is really important. So, so Holden Street allotments in the Belgrave area in Leicester. We continue to work with our volunteers and service users, teaching them about gardening, teaching them about the basics of what to grow, what's seasonal and things like that. Thank you for your time.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
And looking forward to working with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get in touch. If you want to share your story,